All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Fnpa 7th Annual Gala. I'd like to welcome everyone that's come from right across the country and right across Turtle Island to come and spend the evening with us and the next couple days, well, today and tomorrow, with Fnpa. Our organization started in 2011, and we've watched it really grow in the last 3 years, and under the tenureship of Mr. Lonechild, Guy Lonechild, and our chair, Felix Thomas, we've been very fortunate to benefit from from industry and from government in terms of making our organization more relevant. So with this, I want to start with welcoming Iron Horse from the Big River First Nation and them singing an opening song. Oh, sorry, Iron Nation. See, I didn't even read my own paper. Go ahead, Boysak. Good, yeah, that's good, boys. Yeah, it's one more. Yeah. Okay. Iron Nation from the Big River First Nation, Fnpa. I figured I better get up here before they want to sing another one. That was really great, guys. Awesome. Now I'd like to invite our chair of Fnpa, Chief Felix Thomas, to have some opening remarks. Felix, you should bring a drum with you, too.
Thank you, Albert. First of all, to my wife, Dawn, that's here, what they said in the second song. Good evening to the veterans that are here, the elders, ladies and gentlemen, and to all the guests. Welcome to our 7th annual Gala. And I tell you, it's a little bit more than what was here the first time. So I think over the course of the years, as Albert said, we're getting more notoriety and more support. And that support is because of the fine people here and the ones that came before you and the ones that are taking a chance in terms of the corporate community and on the First Nations side for signing up with Fnpa and being not only a member but a partner and a champion, and I certainly appreciate that on behalf of the board. I want to thank the elders this morning and those that participated in the pipe ceremony. It was a good learning experience for us, and we had some hiccups, but it was because of, the message is that we try to incorporate traditional and spiritual and cultural ways into a corporate veil. And sometimes those things get mixed up, and sometimes they're not done, they're done with good intentions, but sometimes they're not done with right protocol. And when I look at corporate Canada and anywhere, they try and do engagement sessions. They try and do things with good intentions, and a lot of times it takes a while for them to get it. And for us, it takes a while to get it as well. It's not. It's just the way things are, and these are. It's important that we get past those hurdles and we get past those challenges, because we know at the end it'll be a better product, and the investments that we make will go a long ways. And I can tell you that the investment that a lot of the corporate community has made has certainly has not gone unnoticed, certainly by me. When Tribal Chief Arkan was talking this morning, he talked about, every time we talk about UNDRIP, we talk about reconciliation, we talk about procurement, we talk about land acknowledgements. Great words, but then we put the words "but." We talk about, but we have to look after our shareholders. But we have to work with the union. But we have to work with HR. All these things, there's always that reason not to do things. And I've been long enough to know that with all of those buts, there are certain people and certain corporations that are here today. They've replaced that word "but" with "and." And I've got some friends here, and then they've shown me that they're willing to not only have the positive words, but replace the "but" with "and this is how we're going to do it, and this is the way that we're going to do it, and this is how we're going to stay committed to the process." So with that, and a lot of you, I'm not going to name names or corporations, you know who you are, and I want to commend you for that. And there's certainly a lot of First Nations that are not here but are willing to partner, and there's certainly a lot of First Nations that'll be will be the beneficiaries of better quality of life because of the investments that you make today, and for as we move forward on the actions that are done, rather than just the words that are said. And just as a final note, for those of you that were at the pipe ceremony this morning, I want to introduce or at least acknowledge Vice Chief Dutch Larod. Like, Dutch has been a Vice Chief of the Federation of Saskatchewan Indian Nations on and off for 30 years or so. And we talked about politicians, but then we try not to think of ourselves as politicians, and we try to think of ourselves more as leaders, or better yet, as servants. And this is illustrated this morning when he did what he could as a scabios to be the helper and smudged everybody there. And I was thinking, this is a vice chief of our provincial organization. I don't think I'd seen any cabinet ministers become servants to their people and to their constituents by helping them smudge in a good way. So this is the type of leadership that we're fortunate to have in Saskatchewan, and we're fortunate to have organizations such as Fnpa, and it's not it's not new unique. I was looking at when we talk about the FSIN, I think it was 70-some years old. So it was, and a lot of the first that came out, like the first learning institution, the Saskatchewan Indian Cultural Center, or was the first one. That's 40 years ago or 45 years ago. That in the 70s, and that's where First Nations University, SIFC, started here. First Nations, SICC, SIIT, SIFC, SIGA started here in IGR and and part of the reason was that the FSIN had a strong family of nations, and that we all understood first early on that you have to work together and work as one and support each other and support the work that's going, and knowing that if you have a quality organization, it'll get supported, and that's what makes it successful. And with that quality organization, I always tell people that as a chairman of First Nations Power, and we see the quality of the people that are on our board, Albert being one of them. Albert just won a national award as Economic Developer of the Year. So. So the quality of the board members that we have, and they're all, a lot of them are here, are second to none, and I just certainly appreciate the support that they've given the organization. And early on, we had we had to do a lot of work on our own. We had like a staff of 2 people, and so now we're getting the capacity needed to be a better service for our First Nations. And you'll see, as much as we've done in the last 10 years, you'll compound that 2 or 3 times, and if you're lucky to be here, to be around in 10 or 20 years from now, you'll remember you were there at this event, and that you're a part of it, and we welcome that, and we wish you well. And the other thing is that we certainly appreciate your support, and we certainly count on your support, and we certainly have that partnership and those champions in this room. And if you don't know one another, talk to each other. Partnerships will be made here and in the future. And for the young members on the Indigenous community, this is the place to be. These will be the opportunities as we move forward. And if you have kids and if you have grandkids, this is a viable option for them, and certainly viable for members of my family, and it could be for a lot of members of your family. So with that, thank you very much. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Chairman Felix. He's also the chief of his community. So, with that, we'll kind of move, because we got the chefs waiting over there to feed us. And so what we'd like to do is have another performance done by Everett, Danae, and Cree Sayer. If you could come up, Everett. And they're going to sing a few songs, and Everett's going to have a few words to say.
How are you doing? Me, Okiskau. I come to you from Nihilpatak, that's Paipot, Saskatchewan. So this is what we do at home. So I told the girls they're paying us to come and act normal. But really put a lot of teachings into like my daughters. So I'll have them quickly introduce themselves, and like this is full of a lot of leadership. So the song we chose to sing, we hope that it brings some clarity with the choices you guys have to make as leadership. Also acknowledging all our leadership that are in attendance. It's good to see everybody. So with that, the song also we're singing it's a touchy for us because we just lost our mushroom. So this is coming our year, and we want to share it with everybody, right? So I'll have them introduce themselves real quick. Go ahead.
Nia acha wasia nitasigasan.
Nia wapanatak nitasigasan.
Okay. So now I'm going to actually have them utilize prayer for you guys. And like I said, you guys are going to be meeting tonight. You guys are going to be talking. You guys will be talking about big numbers that are going to affect our people. And yeah, well, we hope that you guys have the best sound decisions, clarity. So I'll have the girls pray.
Kisi manito, kinanasko mitanan oche oma pimatusuin. Kinanasko mitanan oche nawagumaganak. Kinanasko mitanan oche nagawinaw aski. Usuma egwa okoma, kakio paipa asinawak egwa awasasak nesagi hehinan. Hi, hi.
All right. Hi, thank you guys.
Wow. Yeah, give him a hand. Give him a hand. That's beautiful. Beautiful. So inspirational. Well, with that, we were running late a little bit, and so we've got the cooks up there, and what we'll be doing is we got 4 lines. You can go on each side of the table. So if we want to start with the folks in the back to go first, Oh, sorry. No, my elders are reminding me. Elders first, sorry. And then the folks at the back. Yeah. So if we could get the elders to go up first, please, and we'll, I think, Joe, you've already, you and Ivan have said prayers for the meal? Yeah? Great. So, yeah, this morning they had a pipe ceremony. It was just great. And again, as Felix said, the protocols are so important when we're doing these things. And just a reminder of who we are as Indigenous people, and to bring our allies and our friends in that circle and have them understand who we are as Indigenous people is very, very important. So again, I just want to thank these gentlemen for lifting the pipe this morning. And if we can get the, yes, and the veterans as well. Thank you for reminding me, Dutch. So as well, we have a veterans that are going to go up and eat, but they were also there this morning. And again, could never forget our veterans here too. So just to give a little overview of the agenda, we're going to, after we're done having a little meal here, we're going to have another performance by a group out of Ontario and New York called Carriers of the Words. They're a Mohawk group. And then after that, we're going to be having some awards handed out to some very deserving young people. And then also getting a performance by YB Nakota and Eli Goslin Rattlesnake, who is a hoop dancer. And then with that, we'll have some closing remarks from the chair and our CEO. So just so you know what's on the agenda. But by all means, make your way to go and grab yourself a plate, and we'll get back to the festivities. I don't know who smokes these. I said I'm gonna
Hello, everybody. We're going to move on to our next performer while you're eating. They're called Carriers of the Words, and they'll give an explanation of what they'll be doing and where they come from. Hope you enjoy.
Sego Soagwego. We're so honored to be invited to sing here, share our songs. We're Gundi Wanahawi, it means the women who carry the words. And we came about that name because we're trying to keep our language. So the songs that were created include our language with it. We're Kanyangehaga people, what you know as Mohawk. And we're located on the St. Lawrence River. And wherever you see Ontario, Quebec, and New York State, where they come together, that's our territory. My sister here, Bear Fox, and my daughter, Yowandas, and this is Bear's granddaughter, Katana. I hope you enjoy the songs.
The first song we're going to do is Gayeli Nyongwedege. This song came to me on a vision quest I went on, and I was real worried about my kids. I have 5 little ones. Well, at the time, there were 5. I have 5 little ones, and I was real worried about them. And so this beautiful melody came to me. And so when I got done my fast, I made a song with it. And what I'm saying in the language is I'm asking our ancestors from the 4 directions to watch over my family so that no harm comes to them. And whenever we travel, or whenever I travel, I like to start out with this song and think of my family with a white light of protection around them, that they are, so no harm comes to them. And I'd like to invite you all to think of your families also in the same way. I hope you like the song. Gayeli Nyungweda ke owanduga askoyena waze seyatano nane akwajile owanduga askoyena waze yo ana Yahweh Yahe Yo ana Yahweh Yahe Yo ana Yahweh Yahe Yo ana Yahweh Yahe Kayali Nyungweda ke awaduga askoyena waze seyatano nane akwajile awaduga askoyena waze yo ana Yahweh Yahe yo ana Yahweh Yahe yo ana Yahweh Yahe yo ana Yahweh Yahe. The next song we're going to do is a baby song. This song, at one time our group had 14 women in it, and one of the women in our group was going to become a grandmother for the first time. So she asked me to write a song for her to go greet the baby with this song. So I wrote down what I would say and to my own baby when they're born, and then my friend helped me translate it into Ganyageha. So what we're going to sing in the song is that our Creator has sent a gift, and it is time now for you to take a breath. And I am so thankful you are here with me. And baby, I will always love you forever. Always respect yourself. Always walk on a good path. And always respect our Mother, the Earth. And baby, I will always love you forever. Hayo, hayo, ho, we, hayo. Yo, hayo, ho, we, hayo, we, ya. Yo, hayo, we. Yo, hayo, hawi, hawi, ne. Sungwaya, tison, dahyata, nyete. Ona, ye, yo, he. Asadon, ye, nyawa. Nyawa, jizon, he. O wila achi na we angono lunkwage. Hayo, hayo, ho, ho, we, hayo. Yo, hayo, ho, we, hayo, ho, we, ya. Yo, hayo, we. O wila achi na we angono lunkwage. Sada deli wagwenya stak, yo hahi yo zatahida sili wagwenya stak, ye kenistaha ohonja, hayo hayo ho we hayo, yo hayo ho we hayo ho we ya. Yo, hayo, we. O wila achi na we angono lumpage. The next song we're going to share, this one is in English. And this song came to me when my son, who was 15 years old at the time, was going through a hard time, and I didn't see him happy anymore. You know, he was having going through a lot of things happening in our family, and he was just having a hard time. So, and we have 14 in our family, and I was like wishing my mother had passed away, and I was wishing she was there with me, and I needed some guidance. And so I looked out at the nighttime sky, and I was like, Mama, you raised 14 teenagers. How do I do this, you know? And it seemed like a star just shone really brightly, and I felt like her presence come beside me, and she was reassuring me that it's going to be okay. We just have to surround them with love. So that's what we did. So I want to share this song that is in honor of all the mothers, because we try so hard to take care of our families. With all our heart, we do our best. And then the Mother Earth also, the second part of the song is in honor of the Mother Earth, because she's trying so hard to keep surviving for us. Even though she's going through so much, she's still trying to provide for us. So I hope you like this song. Oh, my mother, I'm so sorry for the pain that you've been through. But now that I'm older and I am wiser, I'm gonna take good care of you. I'm so sorry for the times that I did not show respect, and I allowed myself and others to put our problems upon your back. Yo ha yo we ya he ya, yo ha yo we ya he, yo ha yo we ya he ya, yo ha yo we ya he, yo ha yo we ya he. When I see a starlit night, I seek the one that shines real bright. Then I think about your mother, and I hope that you're all right. I finally opened up my eyes, and I've come to realize I appreciate your guidance, and I'm glad you're in my life. Yo ha yo ho we ya hey ya. Yo ha yo ho we ya hey. Yo ha yo ho we ya hey ya. Yo ha yo we ya hey. Yo ha yo ho we ya hey. Oh, Mother Earth, we're so sorry for the pain that you've been through. But now that we're older and we are wiser, we're gonna take good care of you. We're so sorry for the times that we did not show respect, and we allowed ourselves and others to put our garbage on our turtle's back. Yo ha yo ho we ya hey ya. Yo ha yo ho we ya hey. Yo ha yo ho we ya hey ya. Yo ha yo we ya hey. Yo ha yo we ya hey. We know that you are trying to continue to provide for all your children. You take care of it, trying hard to help us survive. We are the Ungwe, we're the caretakers of the earth. We must take care of our life sustainers, our precious mothers who gave us birth. Yo ha yo ho we ya hey ya. Yo ha yo ho we ya hey. Yo ha yo ho we ya hey ya. Yo ha yo we ya hey. Yo ha yo ho we ya hey. When I see a starlit night, I seek the one that shines real bright. Then I think of our precious mothers, and I hope that they're all right. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm so glad you like that song. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Yawa. We're going to do some women's dance songs. Did you say we have? Oh, no. Okay. How about the water sound? We'll do a water sound, and I'll have you do your two. Okay. Okay, we're going to do a couple more. This is our water drum that we use at home. We're going to do a water sound, and then Yomandas is going to share with her powerful voice. Okay? The water is so important and precious. So this is a sound in honor of the water. We're telling the water we love the water. Yung guanolungkwa ohnega, that means we love the waters. Gahnegalonyo means all types of waters, and gahneganolo means the water is precious. The water, the drum's thirsty too. Yeah, that's better. Yung guanalungkwa ohnega, yung guanalungkwa ohnega, gahnegalonyo, gahneganolo, gainawia heya. Yung guanalungkwa ohnega, yung guanalungkwa ohnega, ganegalonyo, ganeganolo, gainawia heya. Yo we ya he, yo we ya he, ganegalonyo, ganeganolo, gainawia
Okay, I'm gonna do the last one. It's another women's dance verse, and in this song we're talking about we're acknowledging and giving thanks to the medicines for everything that they do.
Thank you so much. Beautiful music, beautiful singing. Thank you. Wow, that was awesome. Coming all the way to you from Mohawk Territory in Ontario, Quebec, and New York. Give them a hand, please. So thank you all. I mean, this is really great performances we've seen so far this evening. So now what we're going to be doing is calling up some of my fellow board members, and we'll be handing out some awards here called the Pathway to Powerful Opportunity Awards. I'll call up our CEO as well, Mr. Guy Lonechild. So Braden Parisian, could you come up, sir, please? Paul O'Byrne, Chris Ball, and our chair, Chief Felix Thomas. If you could all come up, please, so we can get your assistance in handing out these awards. And just so you know, Braden is one of our board members. He's working with Hudson's Bay Company, and they donated 10 laptops. Oh, and Elena. There she is. Yeah, come up here, guys. Hopefully the... All right, dear guy. Yeah. Go for it, sir.
Okay. Give a round of applause for Mr. Albert DeRocher for this evening. Wow. CCAB winner. Best company, best Indigenous company in Canada, kind of thing. Yeah. Soon to be Country Music Awards, I would say, and other things. Meadow Lake is very, very famous for. No, I'm so delighted to be with you again this evening, and it brings tears to my eyes. Well, actually, when we see young people singing and showing the true essence of who we are as Indigenous people. It just happens to be Indigenous Peoples Month here in Canada. We're celebrating the culture, the language, the revitalization that's happening in many of our communities. And as our Chief Felix Thomas, our board chair, said, we couldn't do this without corporate Canada. So give yourselves a round of applause for being here tonight, being an Indigenous ally. We're going to hand out awards tonight to those deserving to honor them in terms of what they're showing in terms of leadership in their communities. And the first award that we have to hand out is Youth Leadership Award. So First Nations Power Authority's Pathway to Powerful Opportunities Youth Leadership Award goes to Mr. Nathan Kay from Sakamay First Nation. Please come on up, Nathan. And I would like to give Nathan an opportunity to say a few words, and we will honor him with a nice little gift from us at the University of Saskatchewan, Synovus, and First Nations Power Authority. And so, and the Hudson's Bay Company. So what he wins, come on up. Elena, Youth Award is, who's doing that one? The first one is Braden. Braden, come on up.
Thank you. Congratulations. I'm surprised.
So what we're giving to Nathan is a 2-year scholarship to the University of Saskatchewan Masters of Energy Security program. So a $19,000 value. And it's his choice to do what he will with it. If he wants to take that course and that opportunity, we would sure all benefit from his leadership that he's showing. So if you wouldn't mind, accept a token of our appreciation, a laptop, and a scholarship for 2 years for the Masters of Energy Security program at the University of Saskatchewan.
Completely surprised by this, and super grateful. You know, I know, you know, some people here in the room, and we've had these conversations, and really when it comes down to it, you know, a lot of these projects, they don't happen overnight, so being able to uplift and empower our young people. You know, we're the fastest growing population, you know, in the nation, and part of it is creating these spaces and mentorship opportunities for our youth, and our, you know, they're emerging leaders as well, and they're the ones that understand what their communities need and how to do things in a good way. They bring the values of our people to these spaces, and you know, they have the ideas as well. They just you know, they need that space to be able to participate. And you know, I work with an organization, 7Gen Energy, and we have a network of, you know, it's over 500 Indigenous youth from every province and territory in the nation, and it's expanding across Turtle Island, and we work with partners and you know, government departments. So we put on a summit every 2 years, and we had one September 2022 at Dakota Dunes, and we raised enough money to cover travel accommodations and meals for over 200 Indigenous youth for our summit in 2019, and we had about 175 at the Dakota Dunes this past fall. So we put the summit on barrier-free for them, and we reach some of the young people in some of the most isolated communities. One of our delegates was from Polituk, Northwest Territories. That's on the northern border of the landmass, diesel community. So, and now we're tasked with bringing another 15 to Abu Dhabi and Dubai later this November. We have the people that are passionate. We have the people that want to make change and they want to get involved. And we need to do things, yes, in a good way, but we need to also think differently. So, I'm grateful for Fnpa, and I'm happy to represent, my nation as well, Zagame and Anishinaabe, and that's in Treaty 4 territory. And just happy to work with and be mentored by leaders like Guy and Chief Felix Thomas, Albert, and they understand, the values and the vision that our people want for our people. So, miigwech and kanaskimatin.
Thank you, Nathan. Nathan spent a summer with us at First Nations Power Authority studying finance. So certainly appreciate his leadership, and thank you very much for doing all that you do. Okay, our next award is going to the leader in innovation in clean tech. So innovation in clean tech. And the winner is Cold Lake First Nation. Cold Lake. And I understand that Heather Bishop had to go, and the counselor, is the counselor still here? They both had to go. Okay. So we're going to accept this on their behalf, Cold Lake First Nation. They had to leave today, so thank you very much to Cold Lake First Nation. They will win, just like everyone else, a scholarship from Suncor, not Synovus, Suncor. Did I got that right? Sorry, Suncor. The University of Saskatchewan and the Fnpa have collaborated over the last, how many years now? 2? We're going on year 2. And it has been such a ride in terms of bringing people together from across the country to put together what I think is a first-class program. And so I really do appreciate all that the University of Saskatchewan is doing. Led by FNPA, so. Well, it's in partnership. Yeah, thank you. He's our co-chair. He's the one that is leading us. Thank you. Learning from Guy. Yeah, thank you. It's co-led for sure. Well, thank you for that. Okay, next one is Cleaner Energy Champion. And the winner is Jacob Sinclair from George Gordon First Nation, GGDL. There you go, sir. Thank you very much. Yes. And we'll get Jacob to say a few words. He's an impressive young fella from GGDL. I think he's the chief operating officer for them.
Well, also very unexpected. Thank you very much. This is just a moment, and there's been a lot of hard work that led up to this moment, so I got to acknowledge all the leadership that came prior to me. And it's a very exciting future. There's a lot of great projects that are coming. And we're just happy to be part of it in partnership with Fnpa and a lot of people within the room. And we're very excited. It's going to be a very exciting future and a very green future. So thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jacob. He's a real inspiration, and will continue to do many, many great things in his career. I know that for sure. So the next award is the Indigenous Allyship Individual Award, and that goes to Corey Simard from Explore Surveys. Corey Simard. And I know Corey couldn't be here tonight. They had a very tragic accident in their company where they lost somebody from Explore Surveys, and they couldn't be here. One of our board of directors, Thalia as well, and others couldn't be here tonight. So anyways, let's say a prayer for those families and those affected by that terrible, terrible incident back in Alberta. So we'll take this and accept this award on behalf of Explore Surveys and Corey Simard. And our last presentation for this evening is the Indigenous Allyship Company. So the winner is Canria, Erwin Hoyk. Erwin Hoyk. Erwin is the new director, Saskatchewan director of Canria. So really do appreciate all that you do and continue to do for being our ally in clean and renewable energy space. So congratulations, Erwin. There we go. Thank you, Guy. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Speech, yeah. Come on over here.
There we go. Well, I'm new in a couple ways. I'm new to the position, and this is my first Fnpa conference, and it's just been amazing. And on behalf of Canria, I'd like to thank Guy for all his efforts and his team for putting on such a wonderful event. They're just such gracious and welcoming hosts. Thank you so much.
That's good, yeah. No, I think we can go now. Yeah, I think you can go. You can go? Okay. Back to Albert? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Go have a seat, Guy.
I'm going to take my drink.
Okay, it's not in the agenda, but been working on a little video that I was going to post it on YouTube, but we're going to try it out on you guys first. So if yeah. Yep. So cue up. They got it? All right. We'll start.
I want to take this moment to acknowledge an amazing human being. I and many others have had the pleasure to work alongside him to share inside jokes and heartfelt moments. He pushes us to grow in ways we thought were impossible. He often gives his hard-earned credit to others. This is why we're honoring him today. He's been an impactful part of my life for 5 years. My boss, my cousin, our friend, Fnpa's president and CEO, Guy Lonechild.
Guy, I've known my entire life. As a little kid, I've always loved the sport of golf, and Guy attended California golf school, and as a little kid, that was just amazing to see an Indigenous person and a family member go to that level. Later in life, Guy was the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations Vice Chief in Chief, and I was a student at First Nations University of Canada, and Guy was integral to making sure that First Nations University of Canada is still there today with that foundation of Indigenous education. And as a student at the time, we needed a leader, and Guy was that leader. So I have the utmost respect as a leader and Guy and who he is today and what he stands for.
Guy works tirelessly to create a sustainable pathway for our future generations. He's been instrumental in creating partnerships and legislation that has improved the lives of Canada's First Peoples. The health and well-being of Indigenous people, mitigating the impacts of climate change, and the preservation of our elements is always at the forefront of the work he does.
I've known Guy for many years as a young person. He got to know a lot of people. There's a lot of little things we did together. He was a good golfer, and I had to play the game to make it for him what it is today.
I think Guy has had a greater impact on individual people and families, other than his own family, of course. But I think for us at First Nations Power Authority, he's really given a big boost. He was there at the beginning when he signed the agreement, him and then Premier Wall, when Guy was the FSIN chief. We've collaborated a lot in terms of strategy development, and when he's come back to Fnpa, he came back with his Masters of Business Administration, which he has a lot of technical skills that he combines with his strategic skills that he already had.
Guy's down to earth. He's one of the kindest, most generous guys I've ever known. You know, he'll go out of his way to help somebody. He'll give you the shirt off his back, and he'll give you really good advice. You know, if you want to talk and just, he'll be there to listen. You know, like he's got a lot of life experience. I look up to him. You know, when I don't have the answers, he's the person I look to. So, you know, I'm comfortable talking to him. You know, he comes across as really personable. I don't know, what can I say? He's my brother. I love the guy.
Since Guy joined Fnpa in 2018, Fnpa has grown immensely. Through our corporate values, which are transparency, collaboration, accountability, and creating and sustaining trust, we have successfully completed 2 utility power projects, multiple community energy plans, and a variety of educational initiatives. He established the Indigenous Advisory Council for SMRs, ensuring Indigenous people have a voice in Canada's SMR Action Plan. And he's established meaningful collaborative relationships in all levels of government. The list goes on, and nothing is impossible.
Well, I've known Guy since he was a little boy. He's always been he's always been a high achiever, and so we all look to individuals like that to help us move to that next level of First Nations self-government. Guy has always been a glass half full type of person, you know, and when he's refined the approach to diplomacy. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. To the point where if he told me to go to hell, I'd look forward to the trip. So he's very charismatic.
Is simply outstanding, such a great guy. And you wouldn't see any humble guy like Guy Lonechild. I've known him for many years. The most important thing is he's very passionate about what is he doing, and especially in terms of Indigenous economic development, renewable energy, especially Fnpa. He's done so much good work. I think Guy has really worked really hard, and also his team and his leadership. It really helped to build that Indigenous renewable energy portfolios in Saskatchewan and many other provinces. I think Guy made a lot of hard work, and he's still working, you know what I'm saying? He's keep building the portfolio of the projects. I think he will be continuing doing that. I just want to wish him more success because he deserves it.
Guy's been more than a leader, and who has been a mentor and helping me to grow with my role in Fnpa, and my heart goes out to all of his work, which deserves to be recognized. Guy, thank you for all you do and the reasons you do it. Thank you for letting me be a part of your vision.
So, I met Guy. He gave me an opportunity. I was invited to be seconded to the FSIN as Director of Economic Development in 2004, and Guy was my boss. He was the Vice Chief at the FSIN at the time. He's creating opportunity for First Nations to be involved in renewable energy projects, projects that are contributing to impacting positively this changing climate. So he's creating a lot of capacity out there for our communities to benefit economically, but also contribute to climate change.
A leader is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that the impact lasts in your absence. Working with Guy has been the greatest work experience in my life. Our office is like home. Our coworkers, the board, our members, and friends are all family. It's not uncommon to hear us saying I love you. Although we all work very hard, we also love to laugh, often until we're in tears. Guy is the greatest storyteller. Ask him to tell you a story from the old days. He has some hilarious moments.
He had a golf coach, and his golf coach helped me. His name was Big Dick. And I was on the driving range with Big Dick one day, and there's these barrels. And so I'm standing there, and I hit a ball, and I hit the bucket about 100 yards out, which is a pretty tough shot. And I look at the coach looking for his approval, and he nods his head, and I hit again, and I hit the bucket again 100 yards. Like, very rare to hit it twice, and I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna tell me how good I am. He looks at me and he says, "You're the second best person to ever come from this golf course." And I knew right there he was thinking of Guy. I was like, that guy anyways will always be number one here. And so to this day, when Guy and I see each other, we always say, how is second best doing? And we always have a good laugh. But
during the camping trip, one of his staff members, she starts calling me the Sausage King. So I'm asking her, gee, why did she call me the Sausage King? And he doesn't know either. And towards the end of the trip, I asked her, I said, Christina, why are you calling me the Sausage King? And she said, oh, it's because of all the hot dogs and sausages you brought for the camping trip. So I had to laugh, and I said, well, it wasn't my idea to bring all those hot dogs and sausages. So I kind of corrected that out. I wanted to say to my brother, you're the Sausage King. So as a guy, I don't know if I want to be called the Sausage King.
Guy picked me up on his way through Regina one time, and I went with him to White Bear. I took a colleague of mine from Australia, and on the way back, Guy and me were in the front, and he was telling me a story, and then all of a sudden the guy in the back seat, my friend Dennis from Australia, starts acting like he's an airline stewardess by saying, please put your seats in the upright position and lock your... So he was saying that because of how fast Guy was going. So it was hilarious.
I would say he pushes people to be the best version of themselves. He is very forward thinking always. He pushes people beyond what they're comfortable with because he knows that they could be better than what they currently think of themselves. And it makes it very easy to work with him and to feel like we're a part of his family.
My dad, in a way, I feel like my dad is a comedian in a lot of ways. He never fails to make me laugh, to tell a joke, or just act silly with me on a daily basis. And I think that's what I appreciate most about him.
When I first met Guy, I remember being super intimidated because he was the former chief of the FSIN, and Leah as well, being a lawyer and former RCMP officer for all those years. I was very nervous because I didn't have people like this around me growing up. But the moment that I met both of them, I was just extremely comfortable and felt so loved and protected. And it's really inspiring to have that kind of a loving family around you, especially if you don't grow up knowing that kind of love and comfort from your parents.
I love the term radiate love. This is who Guy is. He welcomes everyone with open arms, a cup of tea, and meaningful conversation. You feel heard, you feel valued, and you feel like you're a part of the family. With that, I am grateful to know such a wonderful person. Today we honor him and his accomplishments.
One of the things you always remember is in your life, when I'm gone, that Guy will always be there to go things for other people. Not me, but for other people too. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart to things that you've done for us in our life. Thank you.
Dad, you've had a huge influence in my life. The commitment and the love that you show while serving First Nations people has had a huge impact on me. It's inspired me to want to do the same in my lifetime. You've always taught me to be proud of where I've come from and who I am as a First Nations woman, and I thank you for that, for instilling that confidence in me that I need to move forward with.
What it had taught me was that even though we're Indigenous, even though we go through all of these issues, we have all of this trauma and turmoil within our communities, you still need to find the true happiness in this world. You have to find the love and the excitement and try your best to fill your lives up with joy. I think that we all have this purpose, and we get to see so freely in both of them that they are achieving this purpose in serving our people. But what's most important in that, I think they're teaching me how to find the joy in life.
Dad, you're one of the most important people in my life. In a lot of ways, you're my best friend, and I've told you that many times, but I'm here to remind you again. I just want to thank you for showing me such a beautiful life and what it means, to be a provider and also to be an advocate for First Nations people. You've taught me a lot about what resilience and hard work looks like, and you're truly one of my bestest friends.
So thank you for being a role model for me when I didn't have any role models to look up to. And thank you for showing me the world and showing me that there's more to life than Indian politics. There's more to this world and the trauma that we carry.
We're like peas and carrots, we have our good times, we have our bad times, but mostly good times. Every day I don't go without hearing from him. And when there is a day that we don't talk, it's an absence from my life, right? I mean, he'll message me, I'll message him and say, how's it going? So he asks me about work, how things are going. And I don't ask him about work because I think he needs a break from it.
So today is a great opportunity for all of us to reciprocate the love that Guy shares. It might sound a little cheesy, but I love you too, Guy.
We all love you, Guy.
I love you, bro. I love you too.
Guy, I love you too.
And Guy, I love you too.
I love you too, Guy.
Guy, I really love you. Thank you.
Guy, I love you too.
Guy, I love you too.
And I love you too, brother.
I love you.
Oh, and I love you too.
So do you think it's okay to post? Just a small token, more of a, has a great symbolism. And Guy's Indian name is Golden Eagle. And on behalf of the board, I want to present this eagle feather to Guy. For those of you that aren't First Nations, the eagle is the one that flies the highest and is the most powerful and has the most vision. So that's why it's the most honored and sacred gift that you can give a person. And it does symbolize respect, love, strength, courage, and wisdom. All of the values that First Nations people we try to exhibit. And the blanket that we're going to give symbolizes warmth and friendship, and that's something that certainly he shows to all of us here. Yeah, and this whole thing, I'll take the credit, but it really was Rebecca and the staff that did all the work, and so I'll get her to pass the kudos to the rest of the team.
Oh, I just want to talk about the blanket. So, I'm not going to explain why I did this because I'll cry. Me and Guy are cousins. His grandma is my dad's auntie. So I had Guy's grandma make this blanket, and she didn't even know it was for him. Guy's father, Ivan Longchild, would like to have a few words.
Hau tansin waku makan kakio. Tamiskat na kakio. There's a vision, a dream that I'd like to share regarding Guy. It has never been told. It's just only my grandmother. She died when she was 95. Just her and I know the dream. There came a time in 1986 my grandma Kitty and my mom Winnie got into a car accident. They were hit by a drunken driver, and they were taken to the hospital in Unity. And my grandma died there for a few moments. And when she woke up, she summoned me to go. I was in White Bear. And because she said, send for my grandson, no Sim. I want to see him right away. So I went. And I was there the next night. And was there a lot of Cree in the room? A lot of Cree people? Yeah, could you understand me? Yeah. He said, no Sim. Said, my grandchild, listen to me really good. I went to the heavens. I was dead for a little while. I sat there in the dark. I see no in the dark. He said, I can hear these men talking. They were big. Said, I couldn't I couldn't recognize them at all, as he was telling me. And and then she said, hey, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to die, she said. And she was thinking that, and this one spirit got up, went all the way around in a room like that, came behind my grandma. And then I guess that spirit too, don't try to look at me. Most of us, go up, then you wouldn't see me, my face anyway, if you looked. Oh, I want to tell you something, and you got to do what I say. Well, which one? I got a lot of grandchildren. I've been in there just came out. He said, we're talking about that one that named Ivan. So, yeah, I got a grandchild like that. And so, what? My grandmother was answering. Oh, we sat here for a great deal of time, thinking, having a, trying to make a decision. Quick skate the maki way, try to find out one thing. How we go? How no take out? Eu go on right to sister mark. Eu go on a course simana. The gwina nika need. Eu so me be with the margoin. That's the man we picked to be the leader. He said, and that's what I come to tell you. And then when eu go be with the margoin, then she woke up. She was back, came back to life. So this was the dream, the vision, the spiritual visit that my grandma had. And then she told me, you better try to do something in Cree, you do something with yourself, you try to be a leader. But I was really heavily into my culture, like dancing and singing, and rain dance, sun dance, stuff like that. I wasn't like a politician. I wasn't made for that. So there was a time Guy wanted to run for FSIN chief, and that final night before voting, my grandmother and my mom, all of our family, all blood related, we were all in the room. So I got them all together in a big circle, and I told my grandma and my mom, I was talking to them in Cree, you know what? I said, the dream that Kuku had, it's not mine. It belongs to this guy. So I'm going to pray, I told her, I'm going to pray that this dream goes to my son Guy. So that night, we sat in the semi-darkness. We prayed in a big circle. And we prayed for that dream to come, to take place. And we sat there for quite a while. Then when we were just about finished, there was a knock at the door, and somebody opened it up, and there's a group of people came and started talking to Guy. And another group came, and another group. And then I remember this, and you young leaders remember this too. He said, Dad, I have to go out. I got to talk to people. That's it for me to vote, for them to vote for me tomorrow. I said, no, Guy, you stay in here, you sit down. People are going to, if they want you, they're going to come and get you. And sure enough, that night, I think we got a lot of visitors. And what little food we had there, we gave them to people, coffee. But absolutely no alcohol was involved in his campaign at all. And that was my greatest wish at that time. So now we all know that vision that our family had, my kokum. And that's the power that Guy carries. And that's the spirituality of it all. And like what we said this morning at the pipe ceremony, you got to incorporate spirituality, protocol, tradition, culture, language within this organization, and it's going to go a long way. Now, thanks for listening to me. I have a hard time standing up these days. Ho!
Yeah. Totally unexpected. Didn't know a thing. And so humbled by all of this. It's one thing to see your daughter on the screen. I want to say to that, it just is amazing when you see your own children thriving. And she's moved to Calgary, so she's starting a law career with Marie's Law, and I'm so proud of her. And I know Leah did a fabulous job of raising her, and we both did. I was always on the road and doing my thing, but I also saw a picture up there where she was just barely higher than this table, and she followed to all of the FSIN events and everything like that, and crawling under the table, hiding behind curtains. We used to have like a string on her wrist, and she used to run around with a little bob haircut. So that just brought back some memories. And there's something I want to say to all of you about the family and you as a larger family, group of family. I want to thank you for giving me a second chance to prove that somebody can pick themselves back up after falling down. And I've fallen down before. And I'll never forget that. I'll continue always to do better. For our people, Alcohol is a really negative, negative evil spirit. And it's caused problems in my life. And so I just have to be honest with that. That's what really is, sometimes gets in the way. And I don't want to let it get in the way of my life and my daughter's life and others. But for me, coming back to the First Nations University, just having that space there to kind of reflect on the leadership that Chief Felix, I think he was the first leader who came to me and said, when I was the chief of the Federation of Saskatchewan Indian Nations, he said, what you should do is you should step down from the board. Prove to us that you're doing the right thing to improve the governance of the First Nations University of Canada. And so I thank Chief Felix for his wisdom in all of that, because had he not done that, I wouldn't have known what to do. Honestly. Because it was such a trying time, but goodness prevailed. And goodness prevails when we better ourselves and we go back to school and we get our education. And that's central to what our work is here on earth, is to make a better life for our young people through education. And I hope and I pray that the future CEO of Fnpa, the future board of directors, the future staff, and all of them, all of us that are here today will carry that vision forward, because that education is in fact our new buffalo. And it is that path to prosperity, and it's that path to a brighter, cleaner future for all of our young people, all of our people. So I'll just stop there. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank all of my friends and relatives that are in this room tonight, and it's such an honor. I don't know what to say when you see, when you get honored like this. So it's the first time, I think, in my life that I've actually had this kind of experience, and so it's surreal for me tonight. So thank you very much for all of you, all that you do. Thank you. I have one favor. I would like to honor somebody who's here tonight that came a long, long way. And I wasn't sure that he was actually going to make it. So I want to call up Ken Hartwick from Ontario Power Generation. Please come forward, and I'll tell you the reason why I want to honor him tonight. And Ken is a CEO's CEO, and he leads with kindness. And Ken showed up in that hall today, and he didn't have to, but he did. And like I said, I teared up when I saw you, my friend. I saw my brother from another mother. I consider him a brother from another mother. I would like to also honor Ken, if we could all blanket him. Do we have a blanket? Yeah. Okay. Let's blanket him and have YB Nakota sing Ken an honor song, because what he's doing for Indigenous people, not just in Ontario, he's doing for all of Canada. And we couldn't have a stronger ally in the electricity sector than Ken Hartwick as the big boss at Ontario Power Generation. So Ken, if you wouldn't mind, thank you very much for being here today. We'd like to honor you with your presence tonight. So thank you very much. And we can invite Ken to say a few words, but I just want to say how happy that we are to have Ken support the Indigenous Advisory Council on small modular reactors, on the Fnpa, and all that we're doing to build bridges right across the country. So, Ken, thank you very much, and please say a few words. Blanket on or off? Whatever you prefer. It's getting hot. Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. First, thanks, and I do say, Guy, the tribute to you was very touching. It's great to see how many people think so highly of you, and I think there's a lot more that weren't in the video, me included, that think that way. So we all love you too, but thank you for having me here and having others here, and for those that were at the session earlier that we spoke at, or the panel of us, the one thing I really do believe is I have so much more to learn, and I think being here with people who want to teach is amazing. It's the best way to learn if all of us are able to just sit back, listen, watch, and see how people treat each other. I think it's an amazing, amazing place. I really do want to thank everybody. I think Fnpa is a very special organization, and is an organization and really a group of people that are going to help Canada and all our nations do amazing things in the energy transition. So thank you very much. I always appreciate the invite, and hopefully I get invited back next year. I really do want to thank everyone for taking the time to help people like me learn. Thank you very much.
Well, a couple of recognitions that weren't expected. So, again, two very fine gentlemen, and just a few words on Guy. He's been a real leader with our organization. As a board, we rely on him and the staff a lot to ensure that our vision and their vision, as well as a group, is being put out there for our First Nations to benefit from. And as you heard, Guy was a chief and a vice chief of the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations, and so he carries a lot of respect with him everywhere he goes, much deserved. So enough about him. Let's talk about me again. Nah, just kidding. So now we're going to have another performance here by our hoop dancer, as well as YB Nakota is going to be singing for him, and I want him to come up and introduce himself. His name is Eli Gosselin Rattlesnake. So Eli, come up.
Yo, 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 yo! How you guys feeling tonight? Good? Abuashtenno, Dukinya on Wahang Thiedi. I'm from Treaty 6 territory, Paul's First Nation with Nibni. And I'm just going to share some beautiful music, some medicine, and go ahead, brother. I'll play the...
I got to lean down to speak into this one. How boju and dinwe maganitok, Eli Gazan Jishigwe and Dijinaka Jaganashmong. Yahe Wagia, we Chana and Dugu. Wabanong Tutana Wazibing and Dunji, Ngabianong, Kem Alai and Danungom. Apajegomi Gwich Presentawayek. Greetings, all my relatives. My English name is Eli Gazan Rattlesnake. Mountain Eagle Boy is how the spirits know me. I come from the east, Tutanawazibing, which is Valley River, Manitoba, Treaty 4. And today I live in the west in Kemalai. It's a Squamish word for Vancouver. It means the place of many maple trees. Thank you all so much for listening.
All right.
Today I'm going to share a little bit of the hoop dance with you. I'm an Anishinaabe Ojibwe. For me, culture saved my life. Learning my language, doing my ceremony, learning my dances, learning the songs. I was struggling before culture came to me. You know, my cookum is a residential school survivor from Birtle, just outside of our reserve in Manitoba. As a result, we didn't grow up with our culture. But we've been on this journey together. I'm so grateful to have my brother here.
Yo.
The Creator has blessed us. We're so fortunate that we've been able to travel around together and do these things. And so my hands are up to all of you.
Turtle Island.
Rebecca for inviting us, and Guy. So with that, thank you all so much, all my relations. Hope you enjoy.
All right, so let's give it up for Eli. And yeah, I just wanted to share, you know, I come from a long line of addictions too, you know. I was incarcerated for a long time, and that's why I found the drum. I heard that drum, and it separated me from that gang life into where I am today. You know, followed the red road when I got out. Started sundancing, and the songs and everything just came to me, and it was beautiful from there on out. So I've been traveling everywhere through Canada, through the States. Just got back from Las Vegas, had shows in LA, to the reserves, everywhere, you know, just speaking to the youth, talking about how culture saves your lives and how the ceremony will never, ever turn their back on you. It will always be there whenever you are ready. So that's where I come from. I'm part of the Land Back movement, Land Back Records in Vancouver with Dakota Bear, and, you know, big shout outs to the brother out there. And let's put on a good show. You guys ready? You guys ready? All right, let's go. All right, bro, let's go. Let's give it up for Eli. I just want to thank you guys for allowing us to come share the medicine here today. We're grateful. Ishnish Pinama. Thank you. I'm YB Nakota.
So for those of you left here, I mean, if you haven't seen a hoop dance, that was awesome. That was a great performance. I just want to acknowledge a few folks. I acknowledged the veterans earlier, and I want to acknowledge them again. You know, they play such a vital role in our culture, and they play such a vital role in our leadership, and they've supported Guy and Fnpa every step of the way of our journey here. And I just want to make a shout out to our veterans tonight too. As well as we're going to close the silent auction here right away. So if you haven't put a bid in on any of those, I don't know if you call them prizes, but any of the articles over there, then please, you know, go put in a final bid. I bid a whole bunch of stuff. I was hoping I don't win anything. No, just kidding. I'm not trying to be honest. I'm bullshitting. But yeah. But anyways, I want to thank you all, and I'm going to let Guy and Rebecca come and say a few closing words, and our chair, Chief Felix. Guy, you want to?
The politician in me wants to keep talking, but I've done lots of that. Let's close off with YB Nakota in terms of a closing out song. So if we could welcome back to the stage Nakota.
Eli. Iguanas. Keystone. You have the drum? Adewaka Makpea Talnegine Ishnish me Makoche Ashnish Abba Makoche Chichabashin Waka Chichabashin Mitashin Ishnish Pilama Naha Shara Yara Oh.
All right, show's over. You got to go home, but you can't. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.